surprising, and they definitely have been. Like, teams have been in positions where you think, okay, we're pretty much sound here, and then he's gone running through a Molotov or facing into middle and just doing whatever he can to get in their face, and it's working, so you can't really say too much against it, even though it is slightly mad. Either way, T's quickly making their way into the connector. A bit of a crossfire here for the CT side. MSL, he's going to start things off with 2, and Refresh is still standing just around the corner. It's going to fall back a little bit. Oscar loves to try and fight into this angle. Actually goes with the triple shot. That's not going to work, and leaves Nuki all alone in the Palace.
And what's going to make this series so difficult for OpTic to come back on is the fact that even if they win here Mirage, they're still going over to Overpass against HellRaisers, who looked amazing. And, well, Oscar looked amazing on it when we saw his aggressive plays with his AWP. So the series is not going to get easier at all for them. And Nuki now alone in a 1-on-4. Time to work with. Most likely not going to win it. Getting a little nervous now as he does get the first one and the second one. And don't you dare tell me this man can pull it off. Now swinging back towards the A site. The bomb's still down towards stairs. But he's got time to work with.
Yeah, 45 seconds left on the clock.
If he wins this, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Hey, you're making big plays happen. It can't be a bad thing. Decent crossfire here onto the bomb, though, and a lot of ground for him to gather. It should be an OpTic round. But he is going to try his best to get back in here. Peeking out, finds the spot, misses it, though, and that could have been the moment that decided Jason's fate. Unfortunately, instead, it will be the moment that decides the round for OpTic.
OpTic getting a little bit lucky there, too. I think, considering Nuki missed that first shot, if he hit the headshot that finished him off, then turn it into a one-on-one, still had about, what, 25, 30 seconds left. There was a world where he could have won that.
It's because you started to believe. That's what
it actually is. Yeah, I did. I was like, oh my gosh, he can do it. And now HellRaisers going into a forced buy up here. Got a lot of deagles, so looking for some long-range shots here, maybe in towards middle, where Nico's going to be waiting. You see some aggression out of the side of OpTic as well here towards ramp. Looks like Nuki's going to be the one to kind of play the crim spot, we'll call it. Left his own devices in towards Palace.
I'm actually interested by the fact that now on the maps we've seen played, we're getting more force buys coming in the second round, which a lot of the time we haven't been seeing too often, at least on the T side. CT side, it's fairly common, but on the T side, because you can get those AKs up early, we really haven't been witnessing this at all. So I don't know if it's just based off HellRaisers feeling really confident in their deagles, which I'm going to hold my hands up and say I don't blame them. They've been playing really well with the deags and the pistols versus OpTic especially. But even still, this is a good chance for OpTic to actually have that extra bonus round, which they don't normally get. Oh, if they can win the round.
Yeah, speaking of deagles, Angel gets the first one to config. That was in towards CT spawn, actually. I don't know how he actually got that one. That's a little interesting.
Yeah, they're choosing a lot of good positions for these deags, though. MSL, a little bit of trouble. They're going to go peeking him once again. Angel makes his way through, finds Nico, looks for the shot onto MSL, but will be put down. But Oscar is waiting. He's caught as well. 25 seconds left on the clock. The bomb looks to make its way back into B, and Nuki tries to sell a bit of a fake, but MSL has to do it all, and Lau now hits another one deag. We're looking for the total of 5 here from the HellRaisers side as they get the bomb down, and Refresh is left alone. I think the chance of winning the round is slim to none. He doesn't have a kit, and he's on the wrong side of the map. I think all he really wants to do is kill Nuki and get that extra $600. I think Nuki knows he's probably not going to be fighting off, even spots the gun barrel, hits the first, and well, all he really needs to do now is hit him anyway. He's just repositioning. It's actually very smart from him and an easy frag in the end. HellRaisers again, so good with these pistols, so good with these force buys.
Yeah, what were you saying about deagles in that round?
I was saying they're very good with them.
Yeah, and they just proved your point. Well done, Angel getting the double as well. I don't know how he got the kill to CT spawn. He must have pushed in from middle through the window and actually checked it. And still able to get back into safety and re-peek it again. Luckily, MSL was able to get 2, but again, 2 is not going to save them the round here. And now HellRaisers tying things up, forcing OpTic on the force up. They got a scout. They have their own deagles. I wonder actually if HellRaisers is going to bombard this one. Just rush straight in, try to take advantage of the weapons. Snappy trying to anchor this site. However, the flashbangs coming through really force him out of position. He gets one, but East has been able to swing around behind. He's got a second player in the kitchen and takes down Nico. MSL trying to get some tags with the scout. As it's just him and Refresh up against 4. But the bomb's gonna go down again.
How none of these shots connected?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
They've all looked really close. He shot through everyone's legs. And yeah, Refresh is the last one. Doesn't even make the jump, so I'm going to have the long walk of shame back around. Well, Angel's on the other side, and in fact be allowed to actually kill him through his teammate. But yeah, a good round. I do quite like that, actually, like expecting Deagles. It was actually a bit of a risky situation because the CT sent 3 players there initially, so they had a decent stack within the site, but Issa being able to pick them apart definitely helped out for the team. And well, HellRaisers now able to stabilize the economy, and this is where they get that extra sort of bonus, because I sort of mentioned it yesterday when we were talking about if you lose the pistol round, you get that extra round loss bonus. So it's almost better economy-wise to lose the pistol and lose the second and have a buy than win the pistol, lose the second, and then lose the next, because then your money is just now still screwed and you didn't get that extra round loss bonus. Never going to be suggesting to anyone to lose a pistol round, but if you are maybe awful at second rounds, it might be worth a thought.
Well, we're seeing OpTic go for the full save, just the USPs, and HellRaisers slowing the pace down yet again. The B site left completely open as OpTic have the massive stack. I wonder if Angel's going to be able to sniff this one out. Sees the first. Gets tinked up, but not too much damage. You can still see how cautious everyone else is being, still trying to check all these angles, not trying to give up a free round here. And you're just going to lose the long-range shot, but he only saw 2 players, so it's not like they all know there's going to be a massive stack towards A, but the push coming in towards B in the meantime, they're definitely going to know where all players are currently on. MSL's even going for a flank. Oscar got to be careful, not wanting to lose this AK. And I forgot it's Oscar. He gets a nice little 3-piece there.
Okay, now he definitely needs to be careful. 18 HP. Nuki may have seen a pixel of MSL. No, but it won't matter anyway, and HellRaisers keep things relatively clean. But yeah, basically back to the point of economy, this is now going to be the first proper buy we can actually get from the CT side. And then you have to add in the fact that there's also been a hell of a lot of money made for HellRaisers. Like, they not only got to pick up SMGs, they then got to kill you with your own SMGs, making money with them. And then, okay, they've still got the FAMAS and then upgrade to AK. So you can see, like, going into round number 5, you got 3 players over 5,000. 2 of them are thus over 6,000. It's only Angel on 2,500 as the worst economy player on their team. And you know how aggressive he is, so that's not surprising at all.
Yeah. And OpTic have invested into AWP for MSL. And he's going to be holding that A site yet again. He's going to be smoked off completely. Nuke is able to get a big kill. And MSL is actually burning to his death. 23 health left to go. And the site will be taken by HellRaisers. So the retake going to come through. Nico's not able to hit the shot in the east, but Config will be there to trade. And there's a big flank coming in for Oscar in the meantime. But the thing is, he's got to pick up the pace here if he wants to be effective, especially if Snappy's going to start to push through. And he actually backtracks into CT spawn. Oscar has the jump onto 1, has the jump onto 2. At least makes the call that the op is in CT spawn. Wants to do is locate that last player as MSL makes the push through, realizing there's a player behind him. Man off towards Sandwich. He's actually going to unscope at the wrong time. Lowell takes him down. Now Confid, the last man alive against 3. And HellRaisers again will take another round and are off to the races with an early lead.
I actually really like the smokes they used in that round, not the common ones. They didn't smoke off jungle. They actually just put a little wall down, and it gave them the perfect scenario to isolate Refresh, because I think if they watched the game at all yesterday, he played in the same spots every single round. Notice how quickly he died. That's because he had no cover from jungle at all, because they put a little wall across the site. MSL also can't see anything coming out of ramp, and they can also then fight in towards CT as well. I like the set of smokes. It works perfectly for HellRaisers getting the bomb down. Yeah, sure, they lose a couple of players while fighting towards the end, but they put OpTic back onto pistols once again. And well, T-side now looking to already get towards 5 rounds.
I like this push out of OpTic, trying to gather information, trying to look for something. They have 2 players push into the grasp of Nuki, who's going to miss his shots, unfortunately. And you know, Nuki's a player we talked about actually a lot yesterday, especially on Train. He's been relatively quiet so far in the series, but then again, he hasn't really needed to be like anything more than that.
I think if Oscar's just banging everyone, you don't really need to do anything. Like, you can just sit there and watch.
Not much of a watcher, to be honest. I like to be a participant. As you can see, Snappy going to be participating in some action here in a few seconds. Config going to be pushed from short. Snappy just looking for one below again. Just, oh, careful, careful. It just seems like HellRaisers have really done their prep and research. As you pointed out before, like knowing where Refresh plays and where he's been consistently holding and where he's been really effective at the A site.
Yeah.
They've just taken him out of most of these rounds. Got to be happy with that P250 kill.
Yeah, I'm more just wondering why he's speaking with 4 HP, but hey, you'll take it. AK drop to the ground. Money not really an issue for HellRaisers, so starting to get that big lead built up once again. And considering like a lot of the times when we've watched HellRaisers play, it's been their CT side that's been far more dominant. Like they've had some really good CT sides of this map. It's starting to get a bit scary.
I feel like in general, over these last 3 days, T sides have been lacking out of all the 4 teams we have.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think we had some decent ones coming out of a nuke. Like some sort of surprising amount of rounds coming in, considering how CT-sided that can be. But then both teams able to do it, so it was kind of not as impressive. But yeah, other than that, when it comes to like maps, like Train, for example, we definitely had that sort of issue. But either way, this is a change-up. CT side going to try and really challenge for mid this round. Nico's going to be the leader. But
Good
so
flashes.
many nades being thrown out, and it's making it very difficult for them to actually get close. Smoke down will allow mid control to go in their favor. The CT side haven't actually gathered anything other than the control, and it's very difficult to hold on to mid like this. Sure, you've taken it away from HellRaisers early in the round, and at least if you give it up and then they come and try and take it back later, they'll have a lot longer to get to where they want to be. But these sort of crossfires, they always keep me on edge. Because I'm sort of like, if one player falls, it's almost like dominoes.
Yeah.
They're all just going to go with him.
I mean, luckily they have 3 players now here with Config rotating back from short. The problem is HellRaisers isn't going this direction, which leaves Refresh by himself at the A site. They do not have enough smokes, though, for HellRaisers to properly smoke things off. So I'd imagine that one smoke would go over towards jungle and try to cut off connector at the same time. But I like where MSL is. I mean, if he doesn't get smoked off or if he transitions to the top of stairs, there's a chance to get a couple of kills here or there. I'm actually not going to go just for the connector, not for the jungle.
Nades being expended, counter being thrown, and actually the CT side still have quite a lot of utility for this sort of situation. However, Angel again finding that opener. They were playing almost for a retake already, and Oscar just over the top of the box. Lau with another, and it's just come down to individual duels in this round. Every single one taken by the T side. They only had 30 seconds. Like, you look at the weaponry, the utility, everything seemed set up for OpTic. They looked like they were going to play for a retake, and then both players on that site get dropped. And then any rotators get pulled out as well. You can see OpTic just trying to hold on to their weaponry, and you can tell with this much money, of course HellRaisers are going to be hunting.
I feel like HellRaisers have only lost like 2 players max in the last 3 rounds almost. Of course, it's just I say that happens. But one of those was because of like the 4 HP challenge against a P250 of MSL for no reason. It just seems like HellRaisers are winning these rounds, not necessarily easily, but so cleanly. I think is the proper way to talk about it here.
I wouldn't even say easily is that harsh an assessment. Like like with the resistance on the site from either side they've gone to, it's been kind of lackluster. Like, sure, in the early rounds finances were definitely an issue, but look, I feel like that setup that they had in mid, it was there for a retake. Like, that was the idea. You had one player there, but then MSL goes for the sort of aggro peak, and the second he's gone, Refresh, he gets shot over a pixel of the top of the box. Like, that's just unlucky. I don't really like hold anything against him there, but it just falls apart. And it's like, if you're set up for the retake, I feel like you have to wait for the rest of the team to go for the retake rather than just try to be the hero, which what it seemed like.
I think it was a little bit of timing though for Refresh, because he was watching that angle, and like the second decided to start to move to transition his position somewhere else, they got caught by Oscar. But yeah, MSL missing that shot was a little bit unfortunate for him, because he could have escaped from it, I believe. Push coming back in towards middle. Flashbang's being thrown in. I mean, OpTic got the control, with HellRaisers are more than happy to give this control up for now. Didn't really seem to affect them too much last round.
Yeah, a lot of the time they've been going for A executes. which, sure, having connector control is fantastic, but if there isn't that much resistance on A anyway, then it hasn't really been that much of a problem. Same with their B takes as well. We haven't seen a whole lot of mid control really needed for them. This time, at least, utility going to be used to force them back, at least for now. T-side, well, now have the opportunity to regain mid if they want to. It is going to be Nico just playing a more spotting angle.
Oh, he got stuck.
Oh, that's unlucky. At the same time, Oscar capitalizing there. It's not the man you really want to be giving that extra inch, because in the last, he really didn't need it.
Well, again, OpTic going for the push towards ramp, at least to gather the information. Middle has been locked down now for HellRaisers, and it looks like they're going to try to barrel over towards this B site. We're just going to be Snappy waiting to receive. Config going to be rotating over to help out. And HellRaisers' utility still looking good. Nice little peek at a Snappy to look for some damage. And he actually gets a nice double here before Lowell is going to take him down. Now Config trying to buy some time because they have a big flank coming in from Refresh. Speaking of time, 17 seconds left. Easton needs to get the bomb, transition across to get the bomb down.
I like that.
But the thing is, Refresh, like, he's in a perfect position to pull off a nice flank. Oscar's low on HP. Config's going to fall a little bit too early here. They need to keep him alive to allow Refresh to make this flank work. Because still no one's really looking in that direction. Now Lowell turns around at the perfect time, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Refresh has got the kill anyway. MSL now needs to use his teammate's position to get in, and he will spot one, and now it's just a surrounded Issa looking to try and survive, burn that clock down, but he can't do anything. In fact, killed by USP through the box. It is going to be the defusal coming in. Another round on the board, at least for OpTic, but we know that there is hell to be raised, as there's so much money left for the T side.
2 players at 16K. That just really shows you how these rounds have gone for HellRaisers. Very one-sided, very decisive. And a good job by Refresh there to make that quick rotate, which basically came off the back of him pushing ramp anyways, just to gather information of where they were going to be. So, smart play by him. And I was really wondering if that was going to go downhill, considering Config didn't need a peek necessarily. He did try to draw some attention towards Kitchen to allow Refresh to successfully make that push happen. MSL trying to go for the one-way.
Yeah, it's the Molotov throwdown to actually damage the smoke. Gives a little bit of a gap. He's actually going to take the brunt of the damage. We've seen a lot of that on Inferno, and the same here so far. Although he is currently the top fragger for OpTic. Then Snappy. And then on, I think, 2 kills, joint is Refresh and Config. So, and now Nico as well. Angel, he's managed to sneak through. Finds a first, takes control of the jungle. You have to see the reposition from Refresh, because he can't really be in this control anymore. MSL hits the leg shot, but doesn't manage to get the kill. Will still trade 1 for 1. And considering he was low, that's not too bad. The problem now for the T side is they don't actually have a whole lot of utility. A single smokes and flashbangs. They don't know that Config is also into the sandwich as well, although it seems like Lowell is actually going to be peeking into that angle. Definitely has an idea, but looks away, and that'll be the free kill. Now it's very difficult for the T's to actually make it into this site.
Config actually uses his own smoke to block himself off so he can retreat. Refresh trying to go for the peek off the back of the flashbang. Config will be there to answer. Angel just spams through the box. Now looking towards Tetris, going to come around the corner. And with Config on 22 HP, Angel will clean this up. Now down to a one-on-one, and Snappy's nowhere near to be seen. He's over towards short. And with missing that shot, Angel's going to get the free plant. And now the time to work off of this. Oh, he's got to be so careful there.
Oh, Pete tries to peek before the smoke blooms, knowing that he's in a bit of a disadvantage in terms of HP.
MSL had an op over towards short as well, so it's kind of unfortunate he can't pick this one up. Oh, okay, well, they got one there.
I guess that was Oscar's AWP from earlier in the round. So will be a third for OpTic at least. They get the AWP, and the only real problem is the fact they took so much damage. They haven't really had any clean rounds when they're getting the victories.
Yeah.
So they're starting to sort of reduce their own loss bonus, and they're now in a situation where there's no problems at all for HellRaisers. They're getting bomb plants, they're still making money over these rounds, they're doing damage to their opponent's economy, and all it will really take is one break, and it is either going to have to be a risky force buy coming out from the CT side, or just a straight-up eco, and that'll be enough for HellRaisers.
Nico must have hit a 6 shot onto Oscar, considering he had an op in Palace. Was peeking over towards jungle. Again, middle control being poised here for OpTic. 3 players committed to this position. Was that smoke? That was thrown out of Oscar from B. That actually landed towards
It's
stairs.
the same wall. It's the same wall of smokes.
Yeah.
It's just seeming that it's so difficult for them to actually find an angle over the top, but maybe a little bit of a gap in that one as MSL is going to be able to get around. But again, it just looks like the CT side are very confused as how to actually play the angles. Nico's going to push in. He'll lose his life. The CT smoke has faded, but actually now the rest have gone as well. However, Oscar's still playing from short.
He killed Snappy too. He pushed into B by himself and got the kill. They could rotate back if they wanted. They had the time, but now MSL pushes up. They look for the spray down out of config now. Oscar trying to rotate back into kitchen to help out. They know there's a threat of the flank coming through, and you can see already Angel's actually running back towards T-spawn to head over towards B. Oscar's got to hit one of these shots, at least protect this angle so they can't rotate back.
Oh, I don't think he knows. He probably will now. I think he may have heard the footstep of MSL, and you can see the patience from Angel. He's only got 4 HP. In fact, Oscar's going to go for it instead. Jumps down and gives complete free roam of the B site over to his teammate. Highly impactful in this round. Now he's left onto config. If he can get the kill onto Oscar, he's in a decent chance here, but he's been spotted. That's the information gathered. You can see the flashbang being set up as well. It will be avoided, but the shot won't. Again, Oscar. Great round. I do like those set smokes. It's different to what we normally see. It definitely has some gaps in it that can be exploited, but you can see by the way that the CT side gather up, they're kind of confused where to actually peek in.
And you saw, like, Oscar threw that from B halls.
Yeah.
Dude, across the entire map to land there. So maybe it could have been misplaced with the hole there, but with Oscar winning this 1v1 against Snappy, like that saved the round for them. If Snappy wins that fight, there's no threat of him coming from behind. Oscar doesn't pick up another kill, or actually doesn't pick up another 2 kills. So the HellRaisers 7-3. And Oscar even looking for a peek towards A ramp, trying to catch MSL out.
But that was the ultimate pain train as well for OpTic, because that was where they reduced their own. Oh, what? That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. Well, they're definitely in with a chance now. Config, if he can continue to do that, they'll only need 3 more bullets. I'm just silenced. I got nothing. You're going to have to take over from that.
I think the smile he's making in his picture is exactly the smile he's making after that. It's like, yeah, that happened. And Oscar just looks...
same as ever.
Yep.
That's his 1v5 clutch ace face and his... we've just lost a game face. It's everything.
I was thinking more of the we got knocked out in group stage.
Let's see if the T's can bounce back from those couple of kills. 40 seconds on the clock as they look to try and round in towards this site. A little bit of a crossfire here off the back of Nico and Refresh. And Refresh's position is one that can be forgotten occasionally. Seen him switch it up. Nice shot from Nico. He now chimes in with a dig of his own. And while Oscar's so far behind, Yuki basically has to do everything here. This could be the one sort of cheese round they needed, but Yuki finds one. 14 seconds left on the clock. He doesn't even know that the second player's there, and Refresh will finally pounce, but it's too little too late for the T side. Oscar just trying to do some damage, hold on to an AK, but Refresh will put him down. A fantastic round off the back of the Deagles, and exactly what OpTic needed.
The config round there. Getting some revenge from losing that 1v1 against Oscar in the round just before.
I want a slow-mo of that. Like, that was just utter filth.
Well, off the back of an individual play there, OpTic keep their hopes alive. And they recover 3 AKs. So really building up the bank now.
Yeah, and they've hurt the T's. That's something they haven't managed to do nearly all the way through this game. Is really put the damage on the T's. But Nico, he's going to be caught with a nade in hand. The smoke blew just a second too late to save him. Angel already probing. Oh, that was close. I doubt we're going to see Snappy doing that again. It's going to spot for Angel, though, waiting on the corner. Going to manage to connect, and Angel just praying for a few bullets through the wall.
Oh, nice small top actually forces MSL to push up aggressively. However, it doesn't work out for Issa, and Oscar isn't there to return. MSL does get back with the help of the smoke. So able to equalize this, and I feel kind of bad for Nico because he got stuck jumping one time in middle in the window, and that time he got stuck with the nade out. But Refresh playing up close. Actually, Refresh has yet to play like Shadow anymore or Dark anymore, considering that one round we did see them capitalize off of that, knowing he was going to be there with the wall of smokes. It's a good job by him to adjust his position. However, Config just kind of almost set himself up there for that same spot. And if Refresh is going to hold this, I mean, he does have incendiary grenades, so he could buy for some time. He's not going to have a moment to actually take it out unless he takes down 2, and Lowell's able to respawn. Now Config trying to hold on from the push from Palace. Oscar again, flanking towards the B side. Nuki gets the kill yet again.
1 HP.
It's up to MSL to hit the shot, though, because he has Oscar still to worry about from short. Nuki is able to get the bomb planted for Oscar, so he can just hold this position as long as it does go down. And Oscar needs to hit these shots, and he does get the leg. Gets the tag. Does get smoked off, though, and looking to push with the P250 in hand. Takes down. Well, that was not the diffuser. MSL is going to be sticking it. Oscar's going to go through the smoke, and he looks for the shot, and he actually gets diffused in the nick of time by MSL. Oh, dear Lord, that came down to a millisecond of time.
Yeah, I think there was just a slight hesitation, like you said, like that was not the diffuser. That's what he thought just for a second, and then realized a little bit too late. Still, it's a wonderful shot when he jumps through. The question now becomes money once again. And this is, as said, where we finally see the brunt of that eco victory coming in. Still a buy for HellRaisers. Both teams right on the brink of running out of cash. Oscar going to go for the opening pick, and it's actually going to be MSL, in fact, to find it instead onto Angel. A peek from mid. Not something we see too often from MSL, but this time it's successful.
And mid's more been about Config and Nico's area of play. MSL, who actually, what was it, Taz was saying that they knew MSL liked to play towards the A side a lot with AWP, so they'd like to punish that. He's been more fluid in his gameplay in this map. He's been actually more rotating towards connector, more towards short. He's played Take a Booth, I think, like 1 time. This time it's going to be Issa, the man to lurk. And who is that? Config, going to be in shadow. It'll be over in dark.
This time we get the more standard set of smokes coming out from the HellRaisers side. Nice work from Refresh. Definitely looking to come back into this one, but Nuki will be there to take him down. Oh, no, the Config's there as well. He's been playing up close over the last few rounds. A little bit of a guess, but it's enough, and Nuki gets a 3rd kill in this round. Issa will now chime in with another. And it's left all onto Snappy, a UMP. This was the big economy round. This was a chance to maybe make an 8-7 possible, at least get yourselves to 7 each before anything more can be done. HellRaisers instead, or Nuki I should say instead, comes back with a big round and is going to give them their 8th.
How many times is he going to keep doing this? He just walks to the Palace, gets a kill. I think that was on a Refresh 2 rounds in a row now. I know there was at least a 3rd round in there, was able to take someone down from that spot. And OpTic just have no answer for him. Well done by HellRaisers, considering both teams invested their entire economy into this round. And we had multiple player on OpTic spending 6K. And now they're going to be forced onto a... Oh, I was not able to get the op there at the end. HellRaisers have to be feeling good. And again, if they win this map, they're through. They're into the finals.
And OpTic are out.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's
been a brutal week for these teams.
It's as cutthroat as that. He does at least keep the AK. I still remember the days where you see someone like throw the gun to pick up the other one and then lose both.
Ooh,
That's like the worst thing in the universe. So, but that is mainly because clicking E on guns is so trash. And just like, oh, did you know that if there's a grenade on top of it, you can't pick it up with your hands? So that's fantastic.
Wasn't there an old... Yeah, I wonder... that bug's had to have been fixed where if you die with a kit on top of the bomb, then they can't defuse it.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, so if a CT dies on top of it with a kit, then they couldn't defuse.
That's... Yeah, there's been some interesting bugs. I still remember the ones where casting and then the bomb fell through the floor. That's probably the worst one.
Really?
Yeah, and then you just, if you're the T, you're just screwed.
Oh, yeah. Or it gets stuck in places you can't pick it back up again. Actually, that happened to me one time. I think it was on Inferno behind car, like back on old Inferno. We do have OpTic changing things up, though. They're actually pushing Palace. Again, I mean, they're on the save, so they have to make something happen here. And Angel's going to be waiting. He's going to have a little bit of a shooting gallery for him.
Yeah, they're not going to... No chance they're going to face that. I think they were expecting Nuki to be there because he has been most rounds.
Yep.
But this time opting against it. I think they know that in this situation... Well, this is exactly what I want to see. Bulk up. Play the trades. You need the round more than you need the finances, although the money is definitely going to be useful for them at the moment. But you just need to make sure that things that happened previously, like individual duels versus deagles, can't happen. The only thing unless it's config, it's 2 for 1. But, you know, those deals can work out for him only ever so often. Basically, he's used his discount code, Jason. Like, if he can do it again, then clearly he's found one from a friend. But again, smoke's going to be going down B-stack this time. The gamble taken from OpTic, and unfortunately, it isn't going to pay off.
I like that Molotov actually thrown on the edge of the smoke, because MSLs like to play on the edge and actually look for a couple of kills with the op he had previously. Oh. Speaking of the man, does get sprayed out by Angel through the smoke. There is a flank coming out of config who has a deagle. Nuki. Is he going to be reading into this? All right, well, took 3 shots, but he got it. And Refresh actually gets one himself too, so now it's looking more dangerous for the side of HellRaisers. However, it's just 2 players left alive, and they both have AKs, and they have no kit. So I think looking for some exit frags, looking to punish the economy out of HellRaisers into the last round.
Yeah, we're going to see them actually, again, group up together. Config going to peek out. Doesn't really want to risk his own AK. Snappy, however, will. Takes 2 with him. In fact, the third will die to the bomb as well. So all players going down. HellRaisers, I believe there might have been enough money just about to get an AWP still for Oscar, which at least is something. But they've definitely given themselves a better chance of taking this final round of the half and making this more of a 9-6, which considering what we were sat about 6-1 up at one point, that's not a bad resurgence from them.
I mean, they did the same thing on Inferno. They came back. I mean, it was a 13-2 scoreline at the end of the first half, and they pulled it back to, I believe, 12 rounds.
Yeah. As said, though, from what we've seen previously, I still rate HellRaiser's CT side of this map higher than the T. So the fact that they've already managed to get 9 rounds is a bit of a worry. We've already seen like Oscar just go nuclear on the CT side of both this map, pretty much any map he's played throughout the tournament so far, which is a big step up from him. And like everybody just seems to be performing today. I think that's the big takeaway that I've got from HellRaisers is, okay, the last couple of days we've seen them like statistically pretty much be even all the way down. Like we had that yesterday for sure. Today, you're still getting those consistent numbers, but then you're also having standout performances from Oscar, from Lal in the previous map.
I think Angel has been really doing well. He keeps getting these like random kills through smokes. He's been able to lock down multiple kills in multiple rounds. And in-game calling at the same time is definitely no easy feat. Look at this big spread, giving up middle completely to HellRaisers.
Oscar's gone. They were smoking that so that they can gain connector control. He wanted A control, and will actually be met with Nico because of it. One of the big things we've seen from HellRaisers, they're always trying to be surprising. I think he even surprised his team a bit there.
The pace has definitely slowed up as Oscar was looking for a pick on that aggressive push. But there's still no presence out of OpTic towards mid. Utility is starting to run thin. Config the only one with 3 nades to his name. And he's going to be over on the B site with Snappy. It's actually interesting because Nuki's been the one pushing Palace like almost every round on like a default. Yeah, this time he's grouped up with the team. And OpTic's going to be nervous if he's going to be coming from that direction still. And Refresh has such a tough spot, trying to hold A ramp and worry about connector from behind. With MSL dropping, Nuki's going to rush in. Nico looks for one. He gets it. He's going to eventually be, I was going to say, eventually traded out on, but he hasn't just yet. See Refresh still holding towards ramp, gets the bomb down. Now it's just all in the hands of Issa and a 1-on-3.
Yeah, and he's got a crossfire on him. Like, this should be an impossible scenario to get out. He needs to get one of these kills quickly, and even then, the trade is right there. So a 9-6 half. Pretty much as standard as it can get, but on the T side for HellRaisers, they're going to be feeling pretty confident going into the second. Can OpTic survive this here and come back to go to a third? We'll be back after the break.
And we are back with OpTic and HellRaisers battling for a chance to play in, help me here, Montpellier.
Montpellier.
I eventually got it. Sounds good enough. For the chance to get into the Pro League Finals of Season 9. I'm still Jason Kaplan, luckily still joined by Tom. Haven't scared him off just yet.
You haven't jinxed me out of the room. So I can't wait to see Tom. Oh, he's dead. So sorry.
Oh my gosh, that took a turn for like the worst. That got grim really quickly.
Well, you are the Jinx Reaper. That's what we'll call you. Either way, 9-6. CT side taken for HellRaisers this time, and a lot of utility invested for that T side. They're looking to head in towards the B side. A peek coming out from Lau. They do have a kit on that side of the map, but he's going to be the only defender. Needs to just try and fall back and hold down the fort. The smoke used for defensive purposes as they all round towards him. He still manages to get one at least, and the team have rotated in. Nico will fall on the flank. And now the 4v3 ensues. The bomb's actually yet to go down. Oscar already looking to try and get back into the site, and the CT's very quickly on hand.
But Issa's 1v1 he just pulled off, so critical and so crucial for HellRaisers on this retake. Applying pressure from a different angle. You can see Refresh try to be able to be pushed up inside a kitchen. We'll get the battle against Oscar, so at least alleviate some pressure, gives them an angle to retreat and play from. As Angel's going to go for the defuse, actually gets the headshot on MSL. Refresh forced to come back from CT. Spawn an Angel again! That's a 3K for him as he was defusing both times. Isa with the kit, but Angel wants the points. And HellRaisers will go up to 10. And 6 rounds away now from closing this out and guaranteeing them and locking themselves in for a spot in France.
The amount of impact frags that have come in from Angel throughout this series have been slightly ridiculous. Like, he really is having a great series, and it must be so, well, just wonderful playing for a team where your in-game leader can do stuff like that. Like, win a round for you, because it is quite rare. Like, a lot of the time, not only like whether or not they were fraggers before they're in-game leaders, just the role itself can take away a lot from your individual play. But I don't know if that is why we see him being so aggressive, is because then he can sort of make a play and then be the sort of overlord of everybody else, or if it is just the fact that it just works within the team. And, well, I think the latter is almost confirmed.
I mean, if you have the confidence to be able to do something like that and make it work and then still be able to call for your team, that's a scary sight, a scary proposition for teams who are going up against HellRaisers. I mean, it's not something I want to point out in particular, but I think Taz, out of at least the 4 teams here, has one of the worst KDs in the last 3 months. But that's because he's putting more emphasis on organizing the team and making those calls. I mean, you can't really knock on an in-game leader too harshly about having one of the worst, KDs on the team. That's typically their role. But maybe this is the new coming of in-game leaders. We talked about it over the course of these 3 days, how IGLs are starting to put up more numbers, more kills. Exist stepped up a hell of a lot in Sydney for Fnatic. And Angel's definitely been one of those focal points I've seen from these 4 teams and in-game leaders being able to put up big numbers.
Oscar has an all. They've got... How did they get that much money to get an AWP?
Angel. Got a 3K that round.
So what has Angel got in this round? Okay, yeah, he dropped the Kevlar, so that alone is just going to be unexpected, that's for sure. I don't think he's seen the play across, but we'll now have the information. I was almost expecting him to wait in the Molotov, but there has been an investment here coming out from the T side. Don't expect one to be there. Issa peeks out, looks for his 3rd kill of the round. Even a 4th, maybe on the cards. 1 HP, not quite. Refresh will survive on his last legs. The AWP still not being spotted, but Nico's found one back. Makes things interesting. Bear in mind, Lau still quite far away. Then again, he only needs to land a single bullet onto Refresh. Or if he stubs his toe along the way, he will hit the deck.
That'd be the worst way to die. Just randomly tripping. Wasn't there like a April Fool's patch note that came out from the devs about like the shotguns can jam? Or that was a long time ago. Oscar, I think his op still has yet to shoot a single bullet and has yet to be spotted out. Bomb has gone down as the flanks are coming for Lowell, so they now will have a 2-on-1. And you can see they have an inkling of where Nico's going to be, especially with the way Oscar just jumped up on Toll Booth.
Well, this is just going to be the attempted smoke diffuse. It's all going to whether or not the lineup is known. And you can see Lau just pretty much waiting for him to attempt the lineup and then just picking a spot where he's not shooting. Quite smart, in all honesty. And a very easy win. And the thing is, they still haven't seen the AWP. I don't think he shot an entire bullet. It was all down to Issa. Great play coming out from the sandwich. To get 1 or 2 there was impressive. To then almost, well, basically get 3.99. Like, he did so much damage.
And you can't ever underestimate the help that Nuke provided them too, because he got a great flashbang off, which allowed those 2 kills to come in after that. It's a great teamwork there, and Nuke's shown he can be an all-star in aim, and he can also be a great support player for the team. And the hopes of OpTic are starting to fade here, 11-6.
They are 5 rounds away from being eliminated.
I thought you were going to say going home. I mean, technically that's right no matter what if the game ends.
That is true. Yeah, if they win, they also go home, but then they go to Montpellier a little bit later on.
And they go home probably a lot happier.
Yeah, that's for sure. But HellRaisers,
you know, this is actually an interesting game, I just realized, because you have in-game leaders who can both put up big numbers. MSL and Angel have been able to do that over these last 3 days. Kind of different forms with MSL opping.
Yeah.
But they've both been able to do it and been able to show it.
T-side, they're going to invest once again. The bomb plant will help with that. AK-47s on every single player. Refresh already going to be dinked up, and the nade over the top. Now the orb finally makes its presence known. And the push will be kept at bay one by one. The players from OpTic fall, and now it's just going to have to be the fall back as Nico and MSL looking for some sort of rotation. They've left Lau. He never really needed to move. Found a kill as well.
He actually pushed up in towards B halls to check. And Snappy was trying to do the same thing Oscar was when we saw HellRaisers on T side, just have that lurk, and then once they got the A site take, you can push in. Except Snappy wasn't able to win out on that 1v1. So a little bit unfortunate for him, but the A push was already shut down at Angel. Eesh, yikes. MSL just taking the head clear off his shoulders. But 50 seconds left. They have a ton of time to work with here. But now with Oscar pushed up in towards T-spawn, I think Nico might be found. And Nico just, his spider sense tingles as he actually goes to the door. Oh, they're going to go back into Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar will be waiting. He now misses a shot. This is starting to come a little bit too close for comfort as the T's rotate again and again and again, just taking different angles. Issa now going to jump into that underpass position. The Molotovs will give away the game as they are going to look to head in towards this B site. Lau has not moved. He's been here the whole time. MSL still on 1 HP, so that will be the easy frag. And now Nico, he doesn't have time. He's got to run and plant. So Lau, all he has to do is survive. He doesn't even need to take any of these fights. He's won the round single-handedly and even gets the kill at the end. Composed from him. That's 2 kills that, well, may not seem like the most impactful, but both denying presence of the map for the opponents and the bomb plant in the end. And that will be another round on the board. Especially
with the Snappy kill again. Snappy was trying to go for the flank through B halls. So HellRaisers getting another round closer to being at the finals. And yeah, when this push came through, I mean, that was pretty much it. Snappy tried to play the timing card there as the push and the kills came through on towards A. You can see now OpTic looking for a pretty set play towards the A site. It's only going to be Nuka here to defend. So they should ideally have the control and the plant.
Yeah, it's waiting around the corner. Angel is going to be able to pick off one. Config still doing work with that Deeg. Seen some magic stuff from him so far, but that's the bomb hitting the deck. And unfortunately, that should be the ending of this. Even still, though, Config's managed to get a rifle. He's going to go peeking to try and find Angel. Still, the kill comes in off the back of the USB. Is he going to be able to dunk out Nico as well? No, 8 HP remains. So much left to do and so little left to do it with. They are just waiting for the next round buy to come in, but even still, any reduction in personnel for the HellRaisers side would be beneficial.
Well, OpTic here. I don't know what they need to do anymore to
just win.
All right, Coach Tom over here, just win. Making 6 figures a year coaching OpTic here. Just telling them the one simple secret. It's like an ad on Facebook or something, like a clickbait title. This one simple secret can help you win all your CS:GO matches. And then they open the link, it's just Tom saying, just win.
Yeah.
You should have saved that. That would have been like the perfect thing to sell to someone.
Oh, yeah.
Showed your cards too early. Well, we do have MSL with the AWP now, so we have some sort of possible challenge towards the ramp. He actually might be given an opportunity to hit a shot. Does get the tag on the Issa. So will escape with his life, but now they have the information that MSL is going to have an op. And Angel going back to doing Angel things, getting aggressive in middle. He's actually Nico had to have heard that. Oh my god. That shot just almost catching Nico, just rattling off by his ear.
It's a bit of a risky one, especially because he doesn't have his normal partner in crime in the form of Issa, because he was so tagged off the initial peak. Snappy versus Lau duel, looking to continue over onto this B site. The possibility of a split towards short is definitely there, and Angel may be needed to help support his teammate in just a moment. The bomb currently resides over in that angle. Nico actually getting up. I'm hoping he's not considering the push there, and while both players spotting each other out, but it'll be Oscar to win that initial duel. MSL will hit the deck once again. 18 kills and 9 deaths. It's been a fantastic series for Oscar so far, and I wouldn't doubt that it's only going to improve. And the T's need to start making their decision where they're going to be going.
It's got to be towards A when you have Refresh still pushed up in towards Palace. We've seen him play his position multiple times. We see how well he can do. Nico not hitting his shots against Angel. It's going to put them now in a 3-on-5. Refresh has to go huge. He has to hope that distraction from the push into connector is going to buy time and him an opportunity to hit a shot. Spots out Oscar, can't quite connect with his head, and Oscar's going to get the frag onto him, saving Issa's life. And Nuki from Dark will get a nice swift double. HellRaisers, 2 rounds left to go to get back towards France. Get back in the Pro League Finals like they did last season. Different roster then. But again, would be a massive win here for Angel.
Yeah, I really like the CT setup there. Like, even if you lose Oscar, even if you then lose Nuki, you still have Issa in another corner just looking to try and hold on to that site. And it was mainly because of Angel's position in mid, just able to make sure nobody can really rotate into some of the more horrible angles. And yeah, again, it has just been a solid game from HellRaisers all round. Like, there doesn't seem to be a weak link within their side that can be exploited. And for now, 14-6, 2 rounds needed to the 10 of OpTic for HellRaisers to get themselves through to the Pro League Finals. The ultimate goal for this team, the reason they're in Leicester at the moment. Wow, OpTic have got to fight a real uphill battle here, Jason.
They do. And hell, I mean, if you're going to get back in the series, this is one way to do it. See, we're back live now in round number 21. This is definitely a B hit. And Lau's got utility to stall for days. He also has Angel here. Instead of Angel pushing up aggressively towards middle, he's going to be there for the support. The call's being made, the rotation's coming through. Lau looking for the shots, and Angel's able to get the first. Refresh trying to play off towards the side, swinging wide, right into the shots of Angel. Look at the Molotovs coming down. It delayed the push from the rest of the players of OpTic, and now Issa from behind. They've read them like a book. They stalled them out. And HellRaisers should be on match point at the end of this round. Those Molotovs, Tom, coming through were fantastic because like 2 players got through. Molotovs went down. The other 3 players were stuck behind.
Yeah, that's just the worst timing in the world for the T side. Not anything they can really get away with there. And now they're just worried about every single angle possible to them.
And the worst part is that OpTic, with the economy they had, it's not like they could just smoke those off. The smokes they did have, they threw onto the site. So there's no way to stop the Molotovs, which delayed them and separated their entire team. Really well done by Angel and Lowell there.
Oh, snappy. 1 versus 5. Can't say I'm a believer at this point. We'll have a slight upgrade to the Galil Amok. Lau, not a fan. 15-6, a flawless round to take map, series, and more importantly, qualification to Pro League point for HellRaisers. They've had a great performance today.
Really have. Beat OpTic here potentially.
You're still saying potentially.
I'm not counting my chickens until they're fully hatched and heading over to France.
Are going to come and get you.
The economy hurting on OpTic. 3 players with utility. And HellRaisers have so many rounds to play with now. 8 match points. But they might only need 1. The nade's coming through. Angel pushed up yet again on short. Gets the bomb down. Config able to trade though. So down to a 4-on-4 as Snappy actually this time able to take down Nuki. That was in towards, I believe, Toll Booth.
We're just going to go for a knife.
I don't think you do that at a
No,
6-15
neither do I.
scoreline.
Audacious play, but it is going to last a little bit longer. Lau, the last man, not really anywhere near the action. Is going to be sat at the top of mid. Has the chance to catch out MSL. He's just going to be watching into the underpass. The problem is he's covered off from any other angle. And by the looks of things, it may just be Lau looking to try and save his weapon. Money not really that much of an issue for the CT side, but still just making sure that they have the financial stability.
Especially if they start to lose more and more rounds here,
Yeah.
and OpTic picking up some steam. I mean, the chances of clutching this 1v4 with the position he was in, most likely not going to happen. So OpTic doing a great job coming back. Almost a team ace being done there. And what a perfect time to have it happen. Oh, it's going to make it expensive, or at least try to, as he only takes down Config. So 7-15 now for OpTic, as they take the T round. Their first T round, actually, of the half. Let's see if they can somehow continue to do this. On Inferno, they had a good streak back. It was a 13-2 scoreline at the end of the first half. They're able to take it back to 12 rounds at a minimum on CT.
I like play 4. Just thought I'd let
I was
you know.
hoping there would be a play in there with Jason jinx the game again. You know, that would be my highlight.
Like a possibility of the opener going the way. Nade right into the back, and Nico's going to catch that one as it goes off. ESL are also trying to take a bit of a peek. They're doing a lot of damage with nades at the moment. Snappy's going to take the brunt of one as well. Smoke will fall into the connector. They do have quite a lot of control. Now bear in mind, over on B, there's only really Lau, as per usual. MSL does have a little bit of a gone to short, but he's not going to find anything. This will force the rotation. Look at the CT side. They've gone from 1 to 3 in a matter of seconds. Config looking to try and trade back the kill, but Lau still doing damage in the back of the site. He has been an absolute tank holding down the fort on B. He's going to get caught, though. And MSL's actually managed to find Issa at the same time. Nuki throws in the Molotov, at least to deny the plant in the default spot. But it will be going in onto short as well, and that's where Oscar looks to come in from. Hoping to find Config, and that's exactly what he does. It's now left on the in-game leader to try and clutch this one out, and both players are going to double up. They're going to push towards short together and look to take this as a team.
I like this play. Realizing MSL has the AWP. As long as you don't line up, you got a quick and easy round, and your trip booked here to France. He actually gets the double connection. They've lined up. Oscar down to 14 HP. Now MSL, who needs the 4K to keep the hopes of OpTic alive, is looking to stall for time. Gonna push back in. Oscar gets the kill. The time's gonna be there. And HellRaisers, after a hell of a match, have been able to pull this off and get through into the Pro League Finals of Season 9.
Jason, as long as they don't line up, Kaplan couldn't even jinx it going the other way for the HellRaisers. They will close it out anyway.